Okay, so here is a new day and a new C++ tutorial video. Evidently, we're going to go and start with variables today. And we're going to go ahead and skip along some of the more trivial steps, such as starting the program, as I've already gone over that through Hello World. Of course, we named it source again, called it variables. Basically, if you wanted to make a new one, you basically do this, and yeah. So starting off, we're going to go ahead and include the includes, I guess. Stream, and here's a new one here. This one is going to be Conio H, which is eventually going to be needed to stop the program or pause the program the more proper way, which I'll get to later on, using namespace std so we can actually type and make things work. The main program, as always. And we're going to start with char. Now, this one's a little interesting because I've never actually done it like this before. What this does is it declares, or declared, I'm looking at my notes, then initializes. So char letter says we have a letter out there, then we assign A, and those little apostrophes, what are those? I don't know what those are, but those little comma things up there basically says you're A, no matter what. Capital A, specifically. Next, int number. And we're also going to do the same process. We're going to declare a number as 100. And there are certain properties associated with these data types, but we don't need to worry about that. Not until it starts breaking apart. I don't really want to get into the numbers and what kind of properties and what kind of how do I describe it? What characters and symbols and all that stuff it entails and encompasses. You don't need to really get into that. You just want to just use it. Anyways, that was just a whole lot of me just rambling around. So this is effectively going to do the same thing, except with a number. Apparently, since it's not numbers are different from a string, but you can just say 100. They have a weird property where they kind of don't need those. Okay, I have to look up what that terminology is. What is that? What is this? An apostrophe. Oh, okay. Alright. An apostrophe. Gotcha. Flow. This time, this one, it's just like the number, except you can throw in a decimal place. And this is how I typically do it. You see how it has the assignment of the data type, and then this thing is just, you can call this whatever, but decimal is just, more basic, just the basic word. declares and initializes. That's the difference. Now, to speed things up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the rest, as this typing does get a little slow. There's double, pi, declared and initialized. Double has a property where it can encompass many decimal places, or it's a really low number and a really high number, like it goes to the very low negatives and then a super high exponentially large number. And the last data type to introduce is Boolean. It just checks if it's true or false. And we're going to call the Boolean is true to be false. Alright. And now we're going to actually, so now that's declaring all the variables. And these are just the comments here. I should introduce that these comments pretty much are there to kind of just say things, but they don't take effect at all. They're just for display. So by doing those 2 forward slashes, this effectively does nothing. If you do this, that'll screw up the program, as now it's syntax sensitive, and just throwing some random strings out there kind of just screws up the program. You don't want to do that. It's kind of common sense. So here I'll just type out the first line of the actual program we're going to be running. Cout, as we learned earlier, is what you do to display characters. You do this, and it'll stop it. This will throw a string out there, and then this will spit that out. The letter, it'll throw out A. And speed things up along, because we're pretty much going to be doing the same thing after that. We'll just paste the whole chunk. Cout, int number, throw a number, float decimal. Yeah, I guess float decimal would be an accurate way to, because I guess floats do decimal places. We'll just throw in that number. This cout will spit out the 3.14159, and the Boolean is true. We'll say false, I believe. I'm actually not entirely sure what this is going to do. We'll see. And the book tells me to do return 0. Return 0. Supposedly what this does is it validates the program. Like, let me see how it puts it. Returning a 0 value indicates the program executed successfully, traditionally. Okay, so basically this is just the double check measure. So let's go ahead and run it. Yeah. And it'll just flash real quick and go away, because there's one thing we're missing here, and this is the key part of the puzzle, the getch. This is what the Conio H is for. Getch responds to Conio H and will slow the program down, and it's more portable than the system.pause, which is really the ghetto way of doing it. It's considered a hack, from what I've been told. Not an actual programming, but this is actual programming. I'm not sure if I'm using the right terminology, but this is what you should be doing, basically. Oh, okay. So, yep, char A, these are raw strings. They were just, throw it in and spit it out. And these are the variable values. A, yes, even though we typed in letter, how cool. And then, yeah, number, 100, yep, corresponds exactly, 7.5, yep. Po, I didn't mean to do po, but it's, yeah, it takes you literally. You type in po, you'll say po. That's pretty much how raw strings work. You don't necessarily have to say pi to make it function. Bool is true. 0 is apparently what it's doing. Okay. Now, that is interesting. Oh, so I understand. Okay, so basically, okay. This is what the book failed to say. Or in the program it was trying to compile anyways. It did state it in another section. But false means this. True means this. So if we were to say true, and let's correct this, hypothetically, you should say 1. Bingo! Alright, cool beans. I think that's all there is to it. Yeah. Got variables. We understand how it works. We can kind of, so this is how you'd throw the, you know, just kind of just utilize the variables in a basic sentence structure. And that's the program. Cool. Stop it right here.